Hello, neighbor. My story? Well, that's second. And finally, my story is really much less interesting than this. Well, why didn't you say so? I researched dwarven history and technology. Now that's an interesting question. My thinking is that if there was a way out of here, the dwarf... True. And while I've discovered many things here, there are some parts of the city I haven't been able to get to. I'm most interested in the palace, above the lake. Unfortunately, it's sealed up tight. Only one man ever managed to enter, and he never came out. That was Narnabas, and we haven't heard from him in years. Strange fellow. I believe he was looking for the secrets of the dwarves too. If you could find a way in there, I'm sure it would tell us a great deal about this place. Who knows what secrets we could uncover? Time travel. You know, as it happens, I do. It was a great obsession of mine for years after my wife passed. I thought if I could go back, I gave up on that idea a long time ago. But recently the Jarl has asked to see my research notes. How strange that you should now take an interest too. Can I ask what the nature of your interest is in this unusual subject? But I always enjoy discussing for argument's sake. A paradox, you see. But me, I believe that essentially, for example, or that would mean, but if you really, I think it's best if we talk about something else. That is the sun under the ground. Or at least that's how it's referred to in the dwarven text. I must confess, I haven't of course. I'm sure we have nothing to... Well, the dwarves who... My research leads me to believe that if a single member of our community sins, it'll trigger an event, killing us all. I believe such an event occurred some years ago, which is why Metellus found the city littered with burned corpses. But to this day, there are many questions we simply don't have answers for. How is the dwarves' law still being enforced? How does it work? And we may never know, as long as nobody attacks or steals from anybody else. Until we know more. Very well.
We can talk, but be quick. I'm Saphira. Said he was there for biz. Long story short, I followed him. Alright, but we never had this chat, okay? Funny, I was gonna ask you the same question. Because he's incredibly nasty when he gets angry. If only... Look, whoever dreamt up the dwarves' law didn't think it through. Maybe it was meant to protect people, but what it really does is make everybody too afraid to stand up for themselves or challenge people in power, and Domitus knows that. He's next in line as Jarl of this place, so he gets his way by threatening to punish anyone who doesn't do what he wants. He's never physically hit anyone here, but the point is he doesn't have to. I've seen him make grown men cry, Nords. I cry most days. I think about leaving him, but where would I go? He says he'd make sure I wound up living in poverty. I know, I'm no damsel in distress. Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for. Because he's incredibly but what I really... He's next in line. He's never physically... I cry most days. No, interfering will only make things worse. The only way you can help me... I don't know if there's a way out or not. Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for.
Name's Castellus Vitus, military engineer of the Imperial Legion. Out of action right now, but don't worry, I'm still in the service. What about you? That's odd. You don't look like an Imperial. Can't be helped, I suppose. These days we've got to accept help wherever we can. Now, I expect you'll have questions about how this place runs. Ah yes, my workshop. How complicated can it be, I thought. Well, and I've seen these. But whenever you see one of these things, remember, Jarl's got to be... Door hinges need to be oiled, cracks need to be patched up, and that bloody water pipe in the bathroom is constantly... But it's a good idea to make yourself useful around here. No doubt, suspicious behavior, Well, the Citadel's mainly full of good Imperial. Lately, I've been wondering if the Citadel isn't haunted. Every now and then, I'll be damned if I know where it's coming from, but it's not. Yes, well, there's a single pipe on the top floor bringing water from outside the Citadel. But that's not all. The dwarves were brilliant engineers. I doubt I could hold a candle to them. Right you are.
Look, we're not supposed... I don't see why I should share it with you. So my wife disappears a couple of weeks ago and... Well, she's not here anymore. That's all I know. How should I know? And now... And nobody cares that I've lost... I swear. I keep... Maybe she went wandering into the underground tunnel. Not that it's... But even if she'd been seeing someone, she couldn't have... Yes, it is. Where... A skeever? She's dead. I need to see her. What? Oh, yes. Of course. Please, at least tell me how she died. Do you think the skeever killed her, or did it get to her after... What nonsense. You have nothing to base this on. You know what? I think I've wasted enough time talking to you. Get out of here.
Ah, newcomer. Ah, yes, fascinating, isn't it? It seems to be radiating from... But if the dwarves were able to access them, so perhaps a full suit of dwarven armor would protect you. Not just any... Ah, yes. It also seems to have some magical problem. It all but killed Brandis when he went down there. But he didn't have a full set. If you can get down there safely, we know what you discover.
I hope your investigation has been thorough. I don't want you accusing the first person you suspect. So, who is it? Ah, Rikus. Yes, I've noticed it. There's only one. You see, I believe one of those areas. Ugly business, I know, but it's the only way. Good, thank you. Now, here's a key. I knew I could count on you. So
Welcome to Firefly
So
Fire.
you're the strong silent type, huh? I bet you must love me.
I'm
talking to you all the
Habib.
time.
The Jarl says he likes to keep us. Our son was working this, but I came back. I went instead, so we left. Wandered Skyrim for a while. I wish it. The dwarves wrote, but me. So, but I'd be risking the lives of them. All right. No, I don't.
Get out of my face. My problem is that I'm the only one around here whose head isn't buried. I mean, everyone acts like nothing's wrong. But where one seems like I'm the only... I don't know. If I did, I wouldn't be underneath the city. There's a way down there. Show me. It'll be the perfect place to hide from these statues if they ever come alive.
Welcome to our city. Hey, my store, they find it. Well, I say to the, and I was, my friend. But, I'm a reasonable guy, yeah. I reckon I could be, what's the word, persuaded? Persuaded to give it away for, say, 1,000 gold coins? Oh, good. And here it is. And now it's all yours. Now go, my friend. Get out of here and be free.
Welcome. Now, look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. It's not as if I'm a vampire. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company. Nothing gets by you, does it? Sorry. I saw enough friends attacked and driven away by angry Nords to know the cost of not keeping your... So I hid who I was for. But that kind of fear eats away at you. Needless to say... But at least down here, I get to be who I am. No, I don't. It wouldn't usually bother me. But if these threats keep getting worse, eventually my secret admirer, Rikus, the big crazy nerd who walks around with his weapon drawn. Of all the people it could have been, he's the most terrifying. Oh, alright. But what about him? Oh, alright. You wouldn't believe there are much, but once you get used to the fear, the many shall suffer for. Friend, you. Well, it was a good luck. One day, my father, my mother, the raiding stopped. That was the one night. But my hope, it's still, well, at least, and then, next thing I knew, well, I'm a farmer. I'm not that bloody. I don't know why you're asking me. Fair enough.
You there. I'm beyond help. The potions do nothing. And I don't have much time. The only way out. What? No. Stendar. He plants these images in my head. He shows me something terrifying. But the energy, it seeps into your bones.
Who did it?